That's an element IELTS has taken away from us, which makes maybe writing a conclusion a little bit tricky. Many IELTS candidates prepare for IELTS while they're at a public library. And when you go to an English-speaking country, you might find yourself again in a public library preparing for, I don't know, some courses that you need to take or some certificates that you need to present to the job, to your employer. But anyway, sooner or later, you're going to find yourself at a public library. And that's why at IELTS Juice, we have a report to analyze and improve. Welcome to IELTS Juice. Let's start analyzing, scoring, and seeing how this one goes. The diagram below shows the floor plan of a public library 20 years ago and how it looks now. Okay, we have a floor plan. Okay, but it should be two floor plans because, yeah, this one is for 20 years ago and this one is today, right now. All right, now that tells me, yes, you know me, I love deciding on the grammatical tenses. I'm thinking right now, present perfect. Something started in the past and now we can see some of the results. So present perfect is one option. I can even start thinking about some other grammatical structures. Maybe we can use used to. Like, it used to be like this, but now it's different. Used to is another grammatical point that I can use here. If you want to separate the two maps and focus on what it looked like 20 years ago, you can use past simple tense. And if you, of course, want to talk about what it looks like right now, the best one is present simple, not present progressive, because, or present continuous, because that means it is temporary and you know that it's going to change or it wasn't like this before. One of them is misleading and it gives the reader the impression that you know something that they don't, or they don't see in the map, which is not correct for our reports. Anyway, with that in mind, I would like to read the report. But to do that, I need the floor plans, both of them, here on my screen. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. The candidate's response says, the map shows the map, like all of them is one giant map. I think it should be the maps show. Let's see. The map shows the plan for a public library in the past 20 years and now. This is extra because when you say in the past 20 years means from now all the way to the past. So you're covering a period of time from now all the way down to 20 years ago. That's not the point. Actually, we are looking at two individual maps, one in 20 years ago and the other right now. We do not know what has happened in between, so we don't have that information in the middle. It doesn't stop us from using present perfect, though. It's fine. The fact is, this part is extra because it's redundant. It already is mentioned here by using this structure. And I still have that issue, the maps. There are two separate maps. It shouldn't be one map. Okay, not good. 20 years ago, there were tables and chairs in the middle of the library. Wait a second. Yeah, tables and chairs in the middle of the library. Cool. Which are not there. Well, that's an interesting, significant point. I like it. Yeah, it's so small, but it is a significant point because it's in the middle. Yeah, it's totally clear. There used to be these circular round tables, actually, not like in the ancient time and the knights of the round table, but they were just the shape was round in the middle, and now they disappeared. Okay, I like it. This is a good significant point. Let's begin. The library has changed a lot compared to before. Yes, obviously. 20 years ago, that is the year 2004. Okay, the candidate submitted this at IELTS Juice in 2024. You are allowed to do that. It's okay. You will not be penalized for this. So if you're watching this video in another year and you're counting or you're using your calculator to check which year was 20 years ago and you end up with a different number, it's fine. Just I have to let you know that this was submitted in 2024. After entering, that's a very, very good, smart move. Entrance is a significant element here because I can use it as a reference point, meaning that you can see the entrance hasn't changed. I can use it as a place for my audience to understand how I move around and how I compare the two maps. So that is a good starting point. If maybe the entrance was different, in that case, you need to start finding something similar. And if you cannot find anything similar, you can always start by saying, okay, starting from the south, starting from the north, you can come up with an element like this and give that to your audience as a reference point. Trust me, this helps a lot in visualizing what you mean when you read the report, when you see only words and numbers in front of you. There was a room for reading newspapers and magazines on the left side. So entrance, there was, okay, 20 years ago. Entrance, yeah, there was a room. Yeah, it's a room. You can see walls. This is a door. Entrance, newspapers and magazines. Good. Yeah, there's a reading room. Correct. On the left side, there were CDs, videos, and computer games in the room facing it. It's a good grammar. I like it. I like it. I mean, this is in the room which faced it, and it was contracted. This is good. And the room facing it was, yes, CDs, videos, computer games, of course. Good. I'm happy with the organization. And there were adult storybooks in the corridor between these two rooms. I love the mention of the word corridor. I like it, but these are adult fiction books, not storybooks. Okay. Generally speaking, we are not allowed to change words on the map. You see, we cannot say, for example, we used to have tables and sofas. Sofa is not chair. We cannot change CDs to DVDs. They look the same. Okay, but no. When we transfer data from the visual onto our report, we must maintain every element that we can see, and we need to reflect them exactly as they are on the visual onto our report. This is important. This, I'm sorry to say, is not accurate data. So storybooks, which by the way is all one word, is not fiction books. That's not correct. Today, okay, I'm beginning to understand the logic. The writer used entrance as a reference point, then turned left and told me every element on the left. We went from here to here, and then we talked about the element in between. This makes sense. This is logical to me. All right. Today, to the left is the left is the entrance to the computer room. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's smart. The entrance is different now, and the room facing it has been enlarged. Correct. And includes 2 sofas. Good. Attention to detail is good here. Children's storybooks, storytelling events, children's, again, fiction books, not storybooks. And storytelling events. And, okay, all reference books are located between these 2 rooms. Good. I need a comma before this and, but I have a major issue here. Not a major, but a more important issue. There are just too many ands. It's now overused. So, yeah, not a very good score. So for coherence and cohesion, I mean. Okay. All right. That's a good paragraph. In this paragraph, I understood what used to be 20 years ago on the left-hand side of the entrance and what it looks like, again, on the left-hand side of the entrance today. Very logical, very clear. Attention to detail is 95% accurate. We have inaccurate data. I don't like it. IELTS doesn't like it. Yeah, we should move on. In the past, okay, there was an inquiry desk on the right side of the entrance. Okay, now we're going to talk about things happened on the right-hand side. So let's see. In the past, okay, there was an inquiry desk. Okay, okay, again, it's E, but there's a slight difference between inquiry with an E and with an I, but never mind. On the right side of the entrance and on the opposite, and the comma here, after E, there was a room for children's books. Correct. Today, the inquiry desk has turned into a cafe. Yes. Wow, that's a significant change. And the children's library has been turned children's library. It's actually children's books, not children's library. Again, not, no, we are not allowed to change these words. Has been turned into a lecture room. Yes, there's a lecture room. In the past, the aisle on the right was related to nonfiction books, adult nonfiction books, not just some nonfiction books, adult nonfiction books. Oh, yeah, oh, okay, for adults. Yeah, that's okay, that's fine, that's fine. But now there are adult fiction books. Oh, it used to be adults, non-fiction books for adults, but now it's fiction books for adults. Okay. An information desk. And 3 self-service machines. I need a comma before and. In this aisle. self-service machines. There are 3 of them. Good. Okay. Very, very good paragraph. The topic sentence is not generic enough. I needed one sentence, small one, to tell me that there has been equal changes, or there have been equal number of changes on the right-hand side as well. I need a small sentence as a topic sentence for this paragraph telling me that there have been some significant changes on the right-hand side as well. Overall, today, maybe we can get rid of this comma. The inquiry desk has turned into a cafe, and the information desk and self-service machines have been added to the library. My suggestion would be, for a better conclusion, to mention these self-service machines in the conclusion, save it for here, and not mentioning it here. That would have been a bit better. I'm just saying, save it, save this bit of information, and just include it in the conclusion. That might have been better, I guess, because this, I'm struggling to understand what the significant point of it is. Anyway, 227 words. Now let's look at the band descriptors. Okay, yes, we covered almost all requirements of the task. Yeah, the main elements highlighted, illustrated, key elements very well. Just, yeah, a couple of inaccurate items, just a couple. And the last one is the overview, was generally appropriate. Again, I really didn't understand the last paragraph. I understood, yeah, it's just an element that has been changed. What was significant about it? I didn't understand. And as for coherence and cohesion, things are fine. There is an overuse of and also, yeah, paragraphing needs more work, a little bit, so that you know, I mean, the structure is like, okay, I'm going to focus on the left-hand side first, and then I'm going to focus on the right-hand side. And also on the right-hand side, you need a better topic sentence. And also the conclusion needs to have a meaning, why it's a conclusion. One really interesting thing here was that in this particular report, task 1, we didn't have any numbers. Did you notice that? We had no numbers. Everything was descriptive. Everything needed descriptions. You had to describe the elements and how they moved around. So that's an element IELTS has taken away from us, which makes maybe writing a conclusion a little bit tricky, because now everything looks descriptive. So what's the difference? That means your conclusion needs to carry weight in logic. So logically, your conclusion covers the entire paragraph, says something that is correct or is significantly important or impactful enough that you go ahead and put it in your conclusion. As for lexical resources, yeah, we weren't very careful about vocabulary. We had a couple of good ones, but we basically just needed to copy and use the words in the rubric, but we didn't do that. And apart from those, I didn't see a variety of words. That's not the case for grammar. I saw good grammar and some complex ones executed correctly. And they, of course, there were some punctuation errors, but they had no effect on my understanding. So grammar was a much better case than vocabulary. And 6, it's actually borderline 6.5. It's very easy to make this go from 6 to 6.5. You just need to ignore the errors and make sure that the paragraphs are organized accurately. To see the improved version, just click on the description below. It will lead you to the IELTS Juice website where you can have access to this video, to the sample, more information about the assessment, and of course, the improved version with better organization and much better vocabulary and grammar ranges. If you wish to see other videos like this on reports or maybe essays, click over here. Please consider subscribing for more content like this up here or down below. And I hope I'll be assessing your report or essay next time. Take care.